Welcome back to course soft computing. In the previous video we discussed about soft computing. We understand what is soft computing, what kind of problem that you can solve with the help of soft computing, and we have started some discussion on soft computing as well as the hard computing. Now in today's video we are going to understand what are the exact difference between soft computing and hard computing, and we also discuss about various applications of soft computing. So we'll start from very first topic, that is soft computing versus hard computing. So before starting this topic, I want to give again a same example which I have given in the previous video, that where soft computing is applicable and where hard computing is applicable. So again the same example. In case of hard computing, suppose somebody asks you whether there will be rain today or not. So for that purpose you can give your answer in terms of yes or no. So you can say yes. So this is what that kind of problem you can solve with the help of hard computing. But suppose somebody asks you that what is the height of that particular person, what is the height of that particular person. So in that case you can't give exact answer because you don't know exact that he's a 5.5 inch, 5.6 inch. So in that case you can say that suppose the person is very tall. Okay, so in that case you can say that the person is tall. That means you have not given answer in terms of yes, no, 0, 1 or true, false, but you are given the answer that is tall. So in that case in order to represent the tall there should be a specific range. So in that case you can use a soft computing. Now let's try, understand all the difference one by one. So very first difference between hard computing and soft computing is that hard computing is a traditional approach to the computing which is used to solve a problem where output is exact. This is what a important thing. In case of hard computing your output is exact, whereas in case of soft computing what we can say it's a modern approach. I told you earlier that hard computing is used traditionally, and in modern computing what we are using soft computing. So in the modern approach soft computing is a modern approach to computing used to solve a real world problem where it is very difficult to create a model for that particular problem. So at that time soft computing is useful. The next point is in case of hard computing it need accuracy, whereas in soft computing it need robustness and precision rather than accuracy. Or in another way you can say that hard computing focuses on accuracy because in this case you are getting the exact answer. That means whether that particular person is clever or not, or whether there will be rain today or not, means yes or no, specific answer. But in case of soft computing you are saying that person is tall, but what is a criteria for tall? There should be a specific range. So it is focus on robustness and precision rather than the accuracy. Then hard computing follows two value logic. Two value logic means what kind of logic? Boolean logic. Whereas soft computing follows a multi-value logic. Multi-value logic means fuzzy logic. In case of hard computing it required exact input, whereas in case of soft computing it required inexact input. Okay. Hard computing is strictly sequential in nature, whereas your soft computing is parallel in computation. Why it is parallel in computation? Because it make use of ANN. In case of soft computing we have seen, as I discussed yesterday, that there are three constituent elements for soft computing. One is a artificial neural network, genetic algorithm, and next one is fuzzy logic. So in case of artificial neural network it is based on the concept of human brain. So and in case of in your human brain n number of neurons are there, and all these neurons are working parallelly in order to process the information and then take appropriate decision. So in that sense we are saying that in case of soft computing parallel computation will be there, whereas in hard computing there is a sequential computation will be there. Then in case of hard computing you can say it produces a precise answer. Precise answer means exact answer, whereas soft computing works on approximate answer, approximate. Okay, hard computing, it is a deterministic, whereas soft computing, it is non-deterministic. And the final point is that hard computing is when we tell a program to compute a particular thing, but in case of soft computing, when program learn by its own, that means in case of machine learning. Okay, so in case of machine learning, we know that the machine which have ability to learn by its own. Okay, so this is what a machine learning. So in case of soft computing, you can say that program is going to learn by its own. So these are the differences between hard computing and the soft computing. Now next we discuss about what are the different applications of a soft computing. Currently we understand what kind of problem that we can solve with the help of soft computing. Now we discuss exact application. Again, I can say that these are the few applications of soft computing, but there are a number of applications are also there. Okay, so here I listed few applications for soft computing. Very first, medical diagnosis. So what do you think, what is the use of soft computing in medical diagnosis? Let's take a simple example, that we want to know that particular person is suffering from cancer or not. So in that case, how will you provide answer to that question, that whether this person is suffering from cancer or not? So in that case, suppose images are available, the tumor images are available. So based on this, you may predict, you may apply some classification algorithm. For example, you can use support vector machine to classify between that cancerous tumor and non-cancerous tumor. So in that case, you can make use of a soft computing. So just I given a single example that how soft computing can be used in a medical domain. Then next application is computer vision. Now currently you can say that computer vision is a very latest application, advanced application of soft computing. In case of computer vision, you have object detection, you come across segmentation, detection, object detection and segmentation. These are two main parts in case of computer vision. Now where we required object detection, or what is the use of object detection? Object detection can be used, I just given the example that suppose I need to count the number of person present in the railway station or number of person present in the airport. So in that case, what I will do, I will just capture the image from aerial view and then I will count it. So for in that case, object detection comes into existence. That means for object counting, object detection and counting, you can use object detection. Okay, similarly segmentation is there, that can also be used in case of medical diagnosis. So computer vision, you can say that it is one of the growing application of soft computing. The next one is a pattern recognition. Pattern recognition also play a very important role. For example, I need to detect the fraud detection, credit card fraud detection. So in that case, we can extract some pattern which are very rarely observed, or if particular thief is there, particular person is there who is doing the credit card fraud. So using pattern recognition, you can identify a particular pattern to detect whether there is a fraud in that credit card or not. Okay, then next application is a weather forecasting. So in case of weather forecasting, suppose existing data set is available, means based on the last 5 years data, I can predict the tomorrow's weather, that whether there will be rain today or not. So how can I do this? In that case, I can use prediction. In case of machine learning, we know that it is of main three types are there: supervised learning, unsupervised learning and reinforcement learning. So in case of supervised learning, one category is there, that is regression. One category is regression and another category is classification. So in case of weather forecasting, you may use regression, which try to predict what will be the weather today, okay, or tomorrow based on the previous data. So in case of weather forecasting also, you can weather forecasting is also another application of soft computing. Then it can also be used for network optimization, and finally it is used for a recommendation system. Now we should understand what do you mean by recommendation system. I will give simple example. In case of e-commerce website. For example, I am just visiting a Flipkart and I want to purchase a laptop. So whenever I am searching for laptop, suddenly I am getting this notification in that Amazon or Flipkart itself. It will prompt you that the person who is purchasing laptop is also purchasing a bag. So this is what a recommendation. Okay, means it will try to identify the relationship between laptop and the laptop bag. It is found that the person who is purchasing laptop is also going to purchase the bag. So based on this, it is giving me the recommendation. So that recommendation is again another application of soft computing. So I can say that these are only few applications of soft computing, but there are other applications are also there. So I hope you understand what are the difference between soft computing, hard computing, and what are the applications of soft computing. Thank you.